favourite TV themes.
Boy, you look wonderful, Ginger.
From silly pop songs...
Everyone knows it.
It's just such a natural story. Oh, it was perfect.
...to raucous rock and roll.
It was showbiz.
We've got themes that move our feet.
You heard it?
You want to sing it and dance it.
And themes that move our hearts.
Just a kiss. He kissed you?
Skippy.
Mr. Sheffield!
We've got a great show tonight as we celebrate those TV show themes so catchy we could sing them in our sleep. In fact, some of the themes may be more memorable than the shows themselves. OK, let's start the countdown to the greatest TV show theme of all time with one that was there for us for 10 years. Kicking off our countdown is the TV theme song turned #1 hit from our Manhattan mates, Friends.
No one told you life was gonna be this way. The job's a joke you broke,
My love life's to your way. And everyone did the clap.
always stuck in second gear.
Oh, it was perfect. Perfect for the show.
It's iconic. It is the show.
You're here, but
I'll be there for you.
I'll Be There For You perfectly summed up the decade-long sitcom, following 6 friends living in the Big Apple.
I just immediately think of Chandler and Monica and Phoebe and Rachel and Joey and the gang.
You have a third nipple?
Whip it out, whip it out.
What group of friends doesn't run into a fountain and splash around, have a good time? We do it all the time.
Riding on the success of the show, the Rembrandts released a full-length version in 1995, becoming household names.
It's interesting that the Rembrandts, when they recorded this song, didn't want their name on it. And then, wham bam, Friends becomes one of the biggest TV series in history, and they're like, yeah, that's our song.
It's the Muppet Show with our...
At number 19, a simple, catchy tune and sing-along lyrics throw us into the madcap world of the Muppet Show.
It was an exciting start to the show. That's how variety TV should be.
Lips on the bass saxophone, just setting it up beautifully with a bit of rum.
it's time to play the music.
It's time to light the lights.
It's time
There's on the Muppet Show tonight.
The glitzy theme evoked vaudeville nostalgia.
It was an old-time music hall song. It was showbiz.
It's a chorus line and little Kermies in the middle.
Inspirational, celebrational, motivational. This is what we call a Muppet Show.
But it's the Muppet Show's simple yet witty humour, coupled with great celebrity guests, that appealed to both young and old.
It's a dog. I hope he doesn't have fleas.
Why not?
I hate to start from scratch.
It was a family show. There was a lot of huge stars.
Having a guest appearance on The Muppet Show meant you made it.
Well, it's no use struggling, Mr. Cleese. You can't leave until you've done the show.
Over 100 celebrities appeared during the show's 5-year reign, but it was the zany Muppet characters that we connected with most.
You had the whole, sexual tension thing going on with Kermit and Miss Piggy.
He loves me. Gonzo at the end. Little kids would just sit there going, what's he going to do now? What's he going to do now?
She was working in a bridal shop in Flushing, Queens.
When the boyfriend kicked her out in one of those crushing scenes.
What was she to do? Where was she to go? She was out on her fanny.
Making an entrance at number 18 is the animated opener to TV's nasally Nanny.
She had style, she had flair, she was there. That's how she became the nanny.
I loved the Nanny TV theme. I thought that was brilliant.
The whole cartoon opening up, it suited the show perfectly.
Now the father finds her beguiling. Watch out, CC.
It's one of those ones that you just want to sing along with and bob along with. Yeah, it's fun.
Everybody else is wearing
The retro theme was a throwback to those of the 1960s, setting up how Fran became the Sheffield's nanny.
And that's, I think, part of the show's success, is that you didn't have to watch the series from the beginning because all you had to do is watch the opening titles.
And I thought it was very clever.
You did a wonderful job.
Oh, thank you. You know, I've got style, I've got flair. That's how I became the nanny.
That laugh. And that voice, so annoying at first, but then you were just drawn into it.
Mr. Sheffield!
Mr. Sheffield!
Mr. Sheffield, Miss Babcock's here!
Oh, painful. Can you imagine having a nanny that would scream that out to you on a daily basis?
Stab me now rather than hear Fran Drescher's voice.
The nanny named Fran.
Hello, I'm Mr. Ed.
Hello, I'm Mr. Ed.
A horse is a horse, of course, and no one can talk to a horse.
Yes, of course. At number 17, it's none other than the famous talking steed, Mr. Ed.
Mr. is one of the great TV themes of all time. The song seems to be about how many rhymes with horse can you get.
A horse is a horse, of course,
And no one can talk to a horse, of course.
That is, of course, unless the horse is the
famous Mr. Ed. Go right to the source and ask the horse. He'll give you the answer that you endorse.
Which really writes itself. They reckon that if you played it backwards, the voice would actually be singing, you know, sing along with Satan.
Although the backwards lyrics upset a fundamentalist group in Ohio, Wilbur and his talking horse were a hell of a hit when they premiered in 1961.
It's a bizarre idea, the talking horse.
Now, wouldn't he have made $1 million on that instead of hiding it? I've got a talking horse, you'd tour the world with the thing.
I tell them I got a horse that talks, and they don't believe me.
Why should they?
Ed was a smart horse. He could make phone calls and plot schemes.
The horse was smarter than everybody in the show. Even as a kid, I'm going, just shut up and listen to the horse.
You never heard of a talking horse? Well, listen to this.
I am Mr. Ed.
I am Mr. Ed.
Oh, Wilbur.
What 16 theme songs beat me? Find out as the countdown continues after the break.
So tell me, who are you? My school wasn't like that.
It was wacky, it was zany.
Amma.
Darling, I love you, but give me Park Avenue.
That show had a cult following.
The greatest TV show themes of all time. Now, there are two ways to get a great theme song. Write one or borrow one from the music charts. And if you're borrowing, borrow from the best. Who, you ask? Exactly. Yes, it's the 1978 rock song, Who Are You?, which has become the anthem to the hit crime show CSI.
Who are you? Who are you? Who are you? Who?
So tell me, who are you?
Very catchy theme song for a show.
And perfect for a show all about uncovering whodunit.
Genius, the connection. CSI, crime scene investigation, and Who Are You?
They didn't write that theme song for the show. It's a classic song from the 1970s from The Who.
Rising to fame in the 60s, rock rebels The Who made a resurgence in the 21st century when their songs were used for all three CSI franchises.
They've made The Who famous again.
It's like ka-ching. It's a deal. You're done. You're set for life.
It's the most enthusiastic yeah of all time at the beginning of a show ever.
I just wish I had a pair of sunglasses now that I could just pull down slightly and give a line.
It's cold-blooded, Horatio.
It's as cold as ice.
At 15, the place to be is Green Acres, the surreal 60s sitcom with the barn-raising theme song.
Green Acres is the place to be. Farm living is a life for me. It's something like that.
Land spreading out so far and wide.
That theme song was an absolute classic. Just sticks in your head.
New York is where I'd rather stay.
I get allergic smelling hay.
I simply adore a penthouse view.
Darling, I love you, but give me Park Avenue.
Dum 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 dum.
I loved Green Acres and I love that song.
The catchy theme tells the story of a New York attorney who convinces his wife to say goodbye to city life.
Green Acres, we are there.
It was a great idea. You get some Manhattan toffs, you put them in the middle of Nowheresville and let her rip.
What are you dressed up for?
This is my vegetable plowing ensemble.
Eva Gabor would have to have been the most glamorous farmhand in the history of TV.
And she's the worst cook in the world.
I had a little trouble with the cook's book. They didn't explain how to put the bread in the wrapper, but I figured that out.
All I remember about that show was that they didn't have a phone. It was out in a pole. I never quite understood that.
Hello? It was a very strange show, but damn, it was funny, and it's still funny today.
Wake up in the morning feeling shy and uneasy. I gotta go to school.
Guiding us through the terrible teens at number 14, it's the bopping beats from the 80s cult classic Degrassi Junior High.
Loved Degrassi Junior High, loved the theme. So angsty and yet hopeful.
Wake up in the morning, feeling kind of something, boy, I got to get to school.
It was pretty tacky, but look, it's a tacky show, it's a tacky song. I thought it worked very, very well.
I think if it was put onto a kids show today, they'd be like, are you serious?
But this 1987 Canadian production was a huge hit among teens with its gritty take on school life.
It was a coming of age, it was a teen breakout sort of television show, and all my friends watched it.
That show had a cult following. That's what show you'd watch if you wanted to discover naughty things when you were growing up. Watch Degrassi, watch Degrassi. You try and put it on ABC.
I don't want to have an abortion, but I don't want to have a baby. I don't want any of this.
They weren't afraid to tackle the big issues of, you know, teen pregnancy and drugs.
You don't have to take it if you don't want to. I'm not chicken.
Ama.
My school wasn't like that. It's really boring.
You are definitely going to be the coolest guy at Degrassi High. Woo!
Everyone remembers Joey Jeremiah and his band The Zit Remedy singing "Everybody wants something, they'll never give up."
Everybody wants something, they'll never give up.
The Zit Remedy, that's right.
It was so for the times, wasn't it?
Here we come.
At number 13, we're swinging back to the 60s with the trippin' tune that introduced TV's far-out fictional band, the Monkees.
Hey, hey, we're the Monkees.
Keep saying monkey round.
We're too busy singing
to fool anybody down. The Monkees were fantastic. The theme song is that classic bubblegum pop.
That wonderful opening montage down at the beach. Man, talk about a time and a place indelibly stamped if you saw it once.
I've totally done the diagonal triangle leg walk with anyone who'll give it a shot.
Formed for the TV show in 1966, the Monkees played a struggling folk rock band looking for their big break.
It was sort of a hilariously stupid show.
It was wacky, it was zany, it was a bit trippy.
And there was no apology for the fact that it was sort of pantomime television.
Synchronize your watches, please.
It was, you know, 60s silly camera movements. It had everything.
The funny thing about the Monkees was that it was a direct parody of the Beatles.
Instant Beatles, they used to call them. They had no discernible talent. They just put them together, and that was it. Our first manufactured boy band.
They weren't really playing those instruments, so I kind of didn't really believe it, but I thought the music was really good nevertheless.
So good that the foursome became a bona fide band, continuing to sell records well after the show ended.
We love the Monkees, love the TV show, the band. I'm a believer.
The TV themes are even more memorable when we come back.
That was a great theme song, man.
He was the dorkiest superhero.
Schlemiel, schlemazel.
Just turn it on and watch.
20-1 greatest TV show themes. If you weren't here for the 20-1 theme, then here's a quick peek at the show so far. At number 20, Friends Were There For Us. At 19, The Muppets Make Music. At 18, The Nanny Is Fine. At number 17, A Theme Is a Theme, of course. At number 16, Whose Theme Is That? At 15, The Evergreen Green Acres. At 14, Degrassi Is Delightful.
Maybe the coolest guy Degrassi had.
At number 13, They're Just Monkeying Around. And at number 12, it's a theme song about all your dreams coming true while working in a beer factory. Strangely, it's not an Aussie show.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, Schlemiel, Schlemazel, Haas and Pfeffer Incorporated.
Yes, doing it their way, it's Laverne and Shirley and their anthem for single girls around the world.
The song and the vision of Laverne and Shirley was really exciting.
They're living in Milwaukee, they're working at the brewery, and they're singing about their dreams.
Till we do it our way,
As all the bottles go along the factory, and don't they stick a glove there or something?
But the Yiddish chant wasn't easy to remember.
Schlemiel, schlemazel.
Hassan what was it?
Even Fran from The Nanny couldn't get Schlemiel, Schlemazel, Haas and Pfeffer Incorporated quite right.
Schlemiel, schlemazel, Happen, Pfeffer Incorporated.
At least the boys from Wayne's World got it right.
Now, that was funny.
Laverne and Shirley skipped onto our screens in 1976 after first appearing as friends of the Fonz on Happy Days.
Hey, Fonzie! Hey, the Fonzie, they're here.
One of the great spin-offs of all time.
Happy Days was the family show. Laverne and Shirley was two single girls and their two single weird neighbours.
Lenny and Squiggy. Hello.
Hello. Hello. Hi, Laverne. Hello.
One of the great TV sitcoms of all time.
Well, we did the best we could, huh?
Soaring into 11th place is the theme song fit for a superhero, even if he only flies on a wing and a prayer.
That is amazing. I love it.
I don't remember anything from the series other than him trying to fly and the theme song. Believe it or not, I'm walking on air.
I never thought I could feel so free.
On a wing and a prayer.
Well, who could it be? It's just me.
Believe it or not.
It's just me. Thank you.
Believe it or not, fittingly launched us into the adventures of America's greatest, yet most unlikely hero.
Look at you with long johns and a cake. You knock it off. What else does it do? I'll learn as you go.
Greatest American Hero was the most classic series of all time.
He was the dorkiest superhero.
The stupid flying and crashing into things.
Who wouldn't want a red lycra suit given to them by an alien that would make you do wonderful things?
Walking on air, I never thought I could
Despite the show crashing to a halt after only 3 seasons, the song flew to great heights on the music charts.
There's not very often that a song actually leaves the TV show and becomes a hit.
People would just... I can't get enough of this theme song.
I like the version that George Costanza does on his answering machine.
Believe it or not, George isn't at home. Please leave a message at the beep. I must be out, or I'd pick up the phone. Where could I be? Believe it or not, I'm not home.
Just sit right back and you'll hear a tale of a fateful trip.
Smashing into our top 10 is the sea shanty from Gilligan's Island, the short-lived sitcom that stayed afloat on our screens for over 40 years.
That's a great theme song, man. Probably one of the best.
And I defy anyone who doesn't know at least a bit of the Gilligan's Island thing. This is a story about... Whoops.
Let's sit right back and we hear a
tale of a fateful trip that started from this tropic port aboard this tiny...
The Ballad of Gilligan's Island tells the tale of a group who take a quick cruise.
5 passengers set sail that day for
a 3-hour tour.
A 3-hour tour.
Which turns into a catastrophe.
It's from that age where they want to tell you the story so that you can just turn it on and watch.
Because otherwise, you might turn it on and wonder what?
It's about 7 people stranded on an island. I mean, how dumb do you have to be? It made pretty good sense to me as a kid.
But the 7 castaways weren't all mentioned in the original theme.
A movie star and the rest.
At what point did the Professor and Marianne become and the rest?
Maybe they didn't realise how popular the Professor and Marianne were going to be, because I loved Marianne. Every girl loved Marianne.
And Ginger was just smoking hot.
To Ginger, the most beautiful castaway in the whole wide world.
Clearly Gilligan and the skipper were gay. That was part of the reason why they never wanted to leave.
Just a minute, Professor. I think I've got something. Where are you?
Right behind you.
Gilligan.
I thought Gilligan was hot in that little white hat. Not.
Yes, sir.
Which theme songs cruised past Gilligan? Find out after the break.
You just smell the gum leaves when you hear that thing.
It was a lovely song.
Here's the useless, goofy head of the family.
The song was hilarious.
Of tonight's TV's greatest theme songs. And now we head bush to a show where the star had no lines at all. What a way to treat such talent. Springing into number 9 is Skippy, the true blue star of the bush with one of Australia's most familiar tunes.
Skippy, Skippy.
Skippy the bush kangaroo.
Skippy is a cultural cornerstone. You just smell the gum leaves when you hear that thing.
Skippy, our friend ever true.
There's the words of the song.
There's like 3 words in it. Done.
There's no little story about him. It's just Skippy the bush kangaroo over and over again.
Skippy bounced from the TV to the charts when her theme was released as a single.
But there was a B-side as well, which was extended.
I think it was just like a 12-inch remix. Skippy, Skippy, Skippy the bush kangaroo.
Day hop, she's up the way she'll wave goodbye. That's when you'll want the whole wide world to know that you love.
The bopping theme led us into the adventures of a clever kangaroo, helping her ranger friends at the Waratah National Park.
All of the evil people in Australia would somehow go there to be foiled by, a 10-year-old kid and a kangaroo.
Good on you, Skippy.
You can use this little pause to make the walkie-talkie work.
Fly a chopper, answer a phone.
Skippy was just like Lassie, only with a speech impediment.
Kangaroos don't go.
What's that, Skip?
What's that? Dad's fallen down the mine shaft.
It's from Jim. He's in trouble. His car's broken down. He can't get to the show. Is that it, Skip? Come on, Skip. We haven't much time.
Making history at number 8 is the Flintstones, the modern Stone Age family who've been rocking the small screen for 50 years.
I love the Flintstones. The song was hilarious.
Oh, Flintstones. Meet the Flintstones.
They're a modern Stone Age family. Whoever wrote that? Well, I mean, big tick.
They're a page right out of his story.
Let's ride with the family down the street through the courtesy of Fred's 2 feet.
Who knows what a yabba dabba do time is, but sounded good. We'll have a gay old time.
The Flintstones theme song captured the everyday life of the prehistoric family down the street.
He'd get locked out every night. The saber-toothed cat used to come back in through the window. It's like, well, you go through the window, shut the window.
Fred Flintstone and family left no stone unturned when it came to enjoying a modern-day lifestyle in the prehistoric town of Bedrock.
That's the last one. Thanks, Henry.
I loved every bit about the Flintstones.
Fred Flintstone's kind of an ancestor of Homer Simpson. Here's the useless, goofy head of the family when really we know who runs the joint.
You better be prepared to get a fat knot on your head if you ever let go of that steering wheel again.
Yes, dear.
I think Barney Rubble was my favourite.
Are you folks?
It's all the sound effects that go along with that I love. You know, all the little, like, the feet and the...
It's very, very clever.
It's just kind of classic stuff.
As soon as you hear the first few bars of it, it's just...
Making your way in the world today takes everything you've got.
Raise your glass to Cheers, making 7th place with the sing-along from everyone's favourite TV bar.
Wouldn't you like to get away?
One of the all-time classic theme tunes.
Sometimes you wanna go where everybody knows your name. And they're always glad you came.
If there is one theme song that can get everyone in the room crying and putting their arms around each other, it's that.
The theme song sums up why Cheers was such a successful show. We all want to go to a place where everybody knows our name, and that's what Cheers the Bar was.
I've always said if you're in a bar where everybody knows your name, you're probably an alcoholic.
Afternoon, everybody.
The show about Boston's popular drinking hole with crazy characters kept us entertained for 11 years.
I loved Cheers. I wasn't even old enough to drink, and I fell in love with this show.
There was this wonderful chemistry between the two lead characters.
Sam, I am sorry I was late. Is there anything I can do to make it up to you?
Yeah, but you wouldn't.
I know that it was all about Sam and Diane, but come on, Norman Cliffy stole the show.
Can I pour you a draft, Mr. Peterson?
A little early, isn't it, Woody?
For a beer?
No, for stupid questions.
They were sort of everyday losers that all met at the bar, and it was a place that you went, and that's what the song embraced.
You wanna go where everybody knows your name.
There are even bigger cheers for the TV themes still to come.
They made me feel like I lived in a normal household.
It's better known than the Australian national anthem.
I need a big bow tie and a velour jacket.
If you're a blonde, I'm available.
Come back. We're at number 6. Now, any song can get unbearable if you hear it too many times. But this next one remains a favourite around the world, even though it's been played 5 nights a week, 40 weeks a year for around 25 years. Yes, 5,000 plays, and it's still going strong.
Neighbours, everybody needs good neighbours.
Feeling at home at number 6 is the neighbourly theme that has graced our TV sets since 1985.
If you can't sing along to this theme song, you can't call yourself Australian.
Next door is only a footstep.
Oh, the Neighbours theme song is one of those ones that will stay with you and is burnt into your brain forever.
Neighbours, everybody needs good
It's just that's been going on for a very long time now, and it kind of becomes annoying.
Throughout the show's 25 years, there have been 6 versions of the song. The original sung by Aussie singer Barry Crocker.
Then it went a bit more saxophone, sexy jazz Neighbours Ramsay Street with a bit of a John Farnham sound-alike. Have you heard it?
That's when good neighbors become good friends.
They couldn't get rid of the theme because that's Neighbours, but they kind of grooved it up a bit.
Get all the stars back. I'm talking Delta, Kylie, Jason, Craig McLaughlin. Get them to sing with Harold and Madge doing the doo-wops.
Another cup of coffee, Harold.
Creepy, kooky, but oh so catchy. Making the top 5, the Addams Family has everyone clicking their fingers.
They're creepy and they're kooky, mysterious and spooky.
They're
all together, ooky, the Addams Family. Their house is a museum when people come to see them. They really are a scream, the Addams Family.
Since 1964, this infectious theme has introduced the ghoulish gang that delights in the dark and macabre.
Oh, was the show? Are you kidding?
They were a great family. They made me feel like I lived in a normal household.
Lovely, Morticia. You have such a way with roses.
Thank you, Gomez.
There was this kind of sexual thing that went on between Morticia and Gomez.
Tish, you know what you do when you call me Bubba.
Apart from
You rang.
he only said positive things. Sweet, neat and petite.
Neat. Sweet. Petite.
Just some brilliant, brilliant work.
The Addams Family.
At number 4 is the enduring tune from the Aussie children's television staple, Play School.
It's better known than the Australian national anthem.
There's a bear in there.
There's a bear in there.
And a chair as well.
Which is handy, because then you can sit on the chair and look at the bear.
There are people with games.
And stories to tell.
Play School has engaged kids since 1966, making it the longest-running children's show in Australia.
Play School and me were like this.
It's been going for 44 years, Play School.
There's a bear in there.
The same theme song the whole time.
There are people with games and stories to tell.
Open wide, come inside. It's Play School.
It was such a simple tune, but sometimes the most simple is the most effective.
Hello.
Hello. Hello. How do you do? Hello.
Hello. Nothing has changed about Play School, apart from I think there's now maybe a diamond window.
You don't mess with a winning formula. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
It's also a winning formula for the playful presenters, with the cream of Australia's actors keen to take on the job.
It's such an honour in the actors' world to present on that show.
Boom, boom, ain't it great to be crazy?
It's exactly what you want your kids to be watching, and a catchy tune.
And as we saw at the 2006 Logies, everyone, young or old, can't help but sing along. You know, I've often wondered if Jemima and Big Ted were more than just friends. But they wouldn't be friends with the shows that beat them out of tonight's countdown. And after the break, our top 3 favourite TV themes of all time. TV show themes of all time. And for tonight's third place, we have to go back to the 70s, or the 1950s, or the 1950s by way of the 1970s. Ah, they were happy days.
Sunday, Monday, happy days. Tuesday, Wednesday, happy days.
You guessed it. It's the rock and roll theme from America's favourite 50s family show, Happy Days.
The Happy Days theme song is one that everyone can sing along to.
Sunday, Monday, happy day. Tuesday, Wednesday, happy days.
Thursday, Friday, happy days.
Everyone knows it.
And you've got all the different cast members up in their names. I like that.
These days are ours, just you and me.
Oh, happy days.
It's very positive. When you hear it, you feel like dancing.
It's interesting, the Happy Days theme song wasn't actually used in the show for the first couple of seasons.
That's right. The original theme was Bill Haley's 1954 hit, Rock Around the Clock. Whichever way it was introduced, when Happy Days debuted in 1974, it took us back to the 1950s with Richie Cunningham and friends.
I just lost my confidence or something. No confidence with chicks? I heard of that.
Everyone loves Happy Days because it's just all about families and fun.
Milkshakes, rock and roll, the diner, and all the wonderful characters.
Richie Cunningham, Ralph Malph, Potsy.
Favourite character, of course, the Fonz.
Yay.
Hey!
The coolest.
He was hot.
Hey, the one thing you guys gotta understand is that Fon's got power that goes beyond explanation.
They went for like 10 years, didn't they? Sick. What a show. Hey.
Setting course for number 2, but finding romance aboard the world's most affectionate ship, it's the Love Boat.
God, the Love Boat, that had to be the cheesiest theme song ever, didn't it?
So sort of croony, and you want to sing it and dance it and karaoke it and all of that.
I need a big bow tie and a velour jacket. The Love Boat.
Love. Exciting and new.
Come aboard.
We're expecting you. The Love Boat.
Soon we'll be making another run.
Oh, it was a horrible song, but it sort of did set you up for the sort of silly storyline that was about to follow.
Heartbreak Hotel. If you're a blonde, I'm available.
What if I'm bald?
Sir, Captain.
This romantic fantasy, set aboard the Pacific Princess, had something for everyone, including a shipload of Hollywood guests.
All of the big TV stars of the 70s would check into the Love Boat at some time.
This is my very first cruise on the sea.
Some of the great characters of all time.
Captain Stubing with incredible high pants. And Doc, the crazy old womanizer.
Hi, Doc. This is April.
Wow. I can't wait to see the rest of the year.
It was so schmaltzy, it was kind of almost pass me the bucket.
Have you ever been able to step onto a cruise ship without thinking of the Love Boat?
Hello, I'm Julie McCoy, your cruise director. I'm here to see you have a good time.
Well, where have you been for the past 23 years, honey?
It was a huge worldwide hit, and what it did for cruising was unbelievable.
Boy, this beats Chicago in the winter.
Dead Valley beats Chicago in the winter.
There's been no love for the Love Boat, as it's been kept out of the top spot by another hit from the 1970s. Everyone knows all the lyrics, and that makes it a bunch of fun.
Here's a story.
You have a lovely lady who was bringing up 3 very lovely girls.
That's right. At number 1, it's the cheery tune from TV's most wholesome blended family, the Brady Bunch.
Is there anyone alive on the planet today that does not recognise that opening sequence?
Look, it was kind of cheesy, the opening to the Brady Bunch, but gee, it worked.
That's the little bridge there.
And then one day when this lady met this fellow.
The boxers went along with the song, and it was like the bouncing ball.
It was a visual and musical moment for the Brady Bunch.
We all became the Brady Bunch.
The Brady Bunch. Loved it.
And you just stick Alice in the middle there, baby, and you've got functioning family.
From the first episode in 1969, the Brady Bunch theme explained how the family came together.
It sets up the show every single time. And then we go into the dramas of Jan's hair or Marsha's braces.
I'm ugly, ugly, ugly.
Oh, Peter's voice breaking was hilarious.
What's the problem? I'm not doing it on purpose, honest.
They were just the real goody tissue family, though.
Your favorite dish is waiting for you.
What's that?
Me.
Hey, you guys. Oh, Marsha.
At the time, it was very believable, and we all wanted to be the Brady Bunch.
Oh, remember every episode. And after all these years, I still remember all the lyrics to that song.
That's the way we became the Brady Bunch.
The Brady Bunch ran for less than 5 years, but it gave us a million memories. I hope you've enjoyed tonight's stroll down TV's memory lane. Join us again next time for another 20 to 1. Good night.